Hey guys, Jason X for SCNS Live, powered by Cinelinks.com, and this is the figure review of Transformers Generations Deluxe Class Windblade. A figure that I was hunting high and low for, but I found her at my local comic book shop, Madness Comics, over in Plano, Texas. So yeah, I paid a little bit more, but you know, it is kind of a specialty store, but they had it, and I picked it up. It wasn't much more, but anyway. This is Windblade, our fan-made Transformer of the thrilling 30th line. She is number 30, and I like this figure. I like some things about her and some things I dislike about her, but we're going to go ahead and get right to the review. First of all, you got the packaging here, Transformers Generation comic book included. And of course you got Windblade there. She is an Autobot. That's how much I paid, just a little bit more. And it was the only one on the shelf. But okay, on the side you got some artwork of Windblade from the cover of the comic. Nothing on the side there. And there you go, look at her on the back here. And there's her bio. Her Stormfall sword. There is the first fan-built bot. And there's, look at her tech specs, which are, you know, very high, except for the Fire Blast. But yeah, she is a skilled bot. Anyway, we'll just go ahead and bring the figure back in. And she does come with this comic book with some artwork of her on the cover. I do like the geisha look for her. Well, kabuki more. And her sword there with the fan on there. And she actually is in this comic. I forget which one this originally was, but she is in this one. So this is right before the Titans start to do battle. So if you get IDW, you know what I'm talking about. But here she is in her VTOL jet mode. And there's some hits, there's some misses. Overall, I do like her. She wasn't as fiddly as I thought she would be. Well, I'm sorry, she is fiddly. She wasn't as delicate, I thought from the pictures that represented her. But it's still kind of bad. Like, if you look at some of these things, like, she's dependent on a lot of tabs to hold her in. And these right here, they hook in underneath. I don't know how well you can see that. And it might be just that I don't have the wing quite tilted up enough so that they push themselves in. But you have to, like, make sure that's locked in, make sure she's grabbing these two pegs on the back. These tail fins are actually tabbed into the legs here. And you got to make sure those are all the way down. And of course you got the big, you know, you can see her shins and feet on top of her right there. They're right there. There's no way of hiding that. And I find that this part here comes up a lot, and I had a hard time like getting it to stay at first, but it kind of just worked itself in there. She does have landing gear. They're just molded on here on the back, and this one actually folds in. And underneath you can see her sword and the scabbard there. But when you have this in here, unless you can get this, I don't see a way to lock this in. It just kind of sits here on the back. And it's only pegged in here, but if you set it down, it just kind of like, she kind of tilts. Unless you take the sword off, just like that, and it's just a peg here. She will sit flat. But it is a nice jet. I like the color scheme, red and black, you know, I know it's very classic. Her VTOLs do spin, and they will tilt as well. So yeah, I kind of dig that. And what I do find kind of, this tail fin back here, you got to make sure those are pushed in, but it always looks like there's some sort of separation here. It does rotate here, and you can kind of force them together, but this is a very pliable, well, not very, but it is pliable, and it would have helped maybe a tab was inside the fins, or just locked them together, but I guess they didn't include that. So she does have a kind of a, you want to say this is a rubber cone, but it's actually still pretty stiff. It doesn't really give much. But yeah, it's kind of gappy, but I mean, it works. I gotta say, it is close to the model of what she looks like in the comic book. And it does look a little bit better without the sword. It's not as filled in. But yeah, as far as the sword here, we'll go ahead and take a look at the accessory. It does come with this nice scabbard, which has a little turbine here. And you just take that out, and booyah! You got this nice purple translucent blade that gets clear towards the tip. I mean, it does a strong shift right here, and then it just goes to clear. But yeah, nice blade. I'm pretty sure somebody's going to make a third party of this. I don't know why. I just think they will. Something that'll be a little bit better for it. And she does have like a little rounded part here where she can hold the scabbard. That's kind of cool. It just slips right in there. And it's tabbed on both sides, so you can slip it onto her hips. But anyway, for a comparison shot, here she is with good old Starscream here. So yeah, there's what they look like together. They're really close in size, which they should be because they're kind of rivals in the comic book. But yeah, overall, it is a good figure. There are things that could have been done better on it, but overall, I am pleased. Just this jet mode is just a little, just a little, not a lot. I'm actually transforming Starscream because he's pretty quick. Because I didn't bring another Deluxe figure out to compare her to, so there we go. We got Starscream all transformed off camera here. Sorry you had to endure that, but it's a pretty quick transformation. So anyway, on to Windblade's transformation here. First thing you want to do is take this cockpit part and just bring it up, and it's on a double hinge here. Take it and fold it back. There you go. Take the arms and unpeg them from these posts here. They plug right into the hands. Take this up. Well, I'm sorry. You actually want to take her tail fins here and untab those. They're just on these little tabs and slots. And fold them to the back. And that'll free up her arms to go up on a double hinge. One at the shoulders, one kind of at the torso. Bring those up. Take her legs. I'll take her feet, untab them, and you want to bring this down and just rotate this back and bring this heel down. So yeah, bring the heel down and just rotate it the other way. And then you bring the shins down, and you see they're on a double hinge as well, and they just tab in there. And they tab in very securely, which helps because she does have a tiny foot base, and these heels don't lock. They just kind of sit there, and the slightest thing will make them bump back in. Take the waist and rotate it around. Next, I want to take this back panel where the cockpit is, bring it up, and there's her head. Bring that up, and then just put this panel back. Now you want to take these arms and move your camera up and tab them in here. Take these parts and bring them all the way down. Once again up here, just bring them in until they don't really lock, they kind of soft lock a little bit. Take her pauldrons, I love saying pauldrons, and just rotate them up. Same thing with this other side. And then take the wings, and you can they're on a rotation joint here and a hinge here. So you can kind of get them out of the way. I like to put mine like that. It kind of reminds me of the comic. And come on, get up out of there. I got this part here going to the back. So, that's weird. I guess I was able to fit that one down too far. There you go. I don't want to stress that plastic any. But there you have Windblade in her robot mode. Like I said, the heels just collapsed in while I was messing around with her. Go ahead and tilt that back a little bit. Just kind of get her. Like I said, she does have a couple of problems standing, but if you just straighten out the legs, there you go. And you've got her fully transformed in her robot mode, and like I said, not a bad figure. Check out that head sculpt. I mean, that is totally kabuki right there. I love it. I'm not sure why she had to look this way, but you know, it is good. It's got an Autobot symbol there. Not too bad on the hips here. It works. It continues the aesthetic of the figure, with it making her very lithe or lithe, or whatever that word is. I can't think of it right now. But she looks very delicate, very slender, very sleek, and I dig that. She does have these fins on the back, but otherwise it's a good figure in the robot mode. It's very accurate to the comic mold, and I gotta say, it's okay with me. Now, also as an accessory, she has this fan on the back of her head, which slots in here. And to get this out, it's kind of a pain. You got to kind of wiggle a little bit, and then it pops out, and you just see the slot back there. And she can actually hold this thing, like so. You can kind of rotate her wrist and just bring it up like, and pop the ball joint off the shoulder. Sure. But yeah, she can hold it, but it seems kind of unnecessary. As far as the fan itself, it's kind of painted gold on the back, but it's translucent on the front. There's no paint here, so it does have kind of a cool look when it's on her head. I do like that they didn't paint the other side. It's a nice touch. Who knows? It may not have been intentional. It may just been laziness. But otherwise, it's a good effect. Yeah, it's not a bad looking figure in the robot mode. The jet mode, I mean, it is what it is. As articulation wise, there's nothing in the ankles because of everything has to be a certain way for her to stand. But she does have some good knee articulation, 90 degrees. This wheel thing does get in the way. Got a swivel at the thigh. Can't get much out of it, and it's got a little ball joint there. Waist articulation. The hands do rotate, which is good considering all the poses you can get with her sword. They're a little stiff, so just be careful with them. She does have ball jointed shoulders, which, like I said, they are free to move around because of how you can move the wings. And the elbow is at a 90 degree. And her head is, you've got the joint for the transformation, and she can rotate left and right, but her collar kind of gets in the way. If you look at her from the side, I mean, you can see right through her. I don't like that part, but I mean, what are you going to do? With these type of figures, to really get that accurate quality, I'm not going to complain too much. Now, the sword, she does have these slots in the sides of her legs, and you can put the sword into any one of those tabs. I find it locks in easier on the right side than it does the left. This side just kind of really, it just kind of pops out a little bit. But you can put the scabbard there, and she can actually draw the sword. Say that side doesn't lock in so well. So I'm going to go ahead and put it over here. At least it'll stay. So, okay, neither side locks in well. You can pop her sword right into her hand, just kind of slide it in. And she does have enough articulation. She can double hand hold this thing, so let's go ahead and find that sweet spot. Oh, and she does have a joint at the bicep here that will rotate and kind of help you with getting that two-handed pose. And I just dropped her shoulders down when I did that, so yeah, we'll bring that up like that. There we go. And her heels went down again, so yeah. This figure is a little fiddly, and I'm starting to get a little perturbed at her just as I go. Like I said, everything has to be really just perfect for her to stand. She can get some nice poses, though. For a comparison shot, here she is with her rival Starscream, who seems a little bit chunkier than her, but not much taller. She actually seems like she has him right about eye level a little bit. But yeah. And just for, you know, just for a comparison, here she's with Jetfire. There's the leader class and deluxe class. Big change there, so just thought, you know, we'd go ahead and compare. So, I mean, this figure is very hard to find, and if you can find her, I mean, great, but just letting you know, she's got some imperfections. She's not that great, but I gotta say, I do like the design. I like what they were trying to go with here, but there's just a couple of things, and maybe there'll be some modifications you can do to improve, like these ankles and her balance. I don't know, but yeah, these heels. Maybe a little furniture polish on those heels will help them stiffen up a little bit and stay out so that they don't cause a collapse. And her wings, they really will give her a little back heaviness, but otherwise, I'm happy with the figure. It ain't perfect, but it is what it is. It is a deluxe class. fan-made figure, and it's okay. I'm not gonna do the not good, not bad thing. You've seen the flaws with it, but otherwise, I'm okay with it. I'm glad I was able to find her and add her to my collection. So anyway, guys, I'm Jason the X. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe, go over to Cinelinks.com and check us out Thursdays, 8 to 9 p.m. Central. And keep on nerding, guys. I'll catch you later.